Welcome to Total Boxing TV with me, James Hernandez, and today I'm joined by someone you may or may not know. He's one of the best cutsmen in the UK and was voted 2014 World Handwrapping Champion. He looks after both fighters in boxing and in MMA. He's the man that keeps the fighters in the fight. He's Adam Gigli.
How you doing?
Yeah, very well, mate. How you doing?
Yeah, good to see you, James. How are you?
Yeah, very well, very well. World champion hand wrapper, that sounds very impressive. How did that come about?
You know what, it was the whole idea, it was actually a few cutmen, it was actually online, on Facebook actually, where it all first started. A couple of cutmen from around the world set up something called the ICA, which is the International Cutman Association, and that was sort of spearheaded by myself, a German cutman called Michael Schmidt, and an Italian cutman called Federico Catizone. And basically what we wanted to do is just put together something where cutmen can sort of come together worldwide, and we wanted to basically just in our own respective countries, you know, start getting the cutmen well recognised and what we do, and we basically, I mean, we just wanted to make the corners safer for everyone, you know, for the fighters and for the trainers. So it was basically just getting ourselves out there, and you know, what we do and how we do it and why we do it as well. You know, so it's all about fighter safety, which is what it comes down to. So.
Absolutely, and in any walk of life or your field of trade, to be recognised in that stature, it must have been a very proud moment for you to be crowned the world champion.
Yeah,
absolutely,
mate. Yeah, I mean, and one of the judges was an American cutman called Jacob Stitch Duran. Now Jacob, he works with, you know, he worked in America with alongside Andre Ward and a few other guys. So he's very, very well respected in the game, and I work alongside him in the UFC. So he was one of the judges. So to be crowned world champion under, you know, with him as one of the main judges was a very proud moment, definitely.
Did you ever work under Jacob?
We work together now in the UFC events. So yeah, I mean, I see him quite regularly and work with Jacob quite a lot. So yeah, he's a very good guy.
And when were the World Championships held? And when was that taking place?
That was a few months ago over in Cologne, Germany.
And obviously you went over.
Yeah, we went over. We went over a few days.
Were you expecting to win, or was it a complete surprise?
You know what you do. I mean, with regards to all the other cutmen, you know, they were from. I think there was other cutmen there from 20 different countries. So obviously I don't know what their rapping was like until I got there. But you know, I know my raps and what they're like. So yeah, I was expecting to do quite well. But
and what did you actually have to do in the championships?
Well, what we do, we obviously got paired up, and you got to rap fighters, and it was based on MMA and boxing hand wraps. Now, it was judged on a number of different things, like obviously presentation, time, support, etc., so things like that. So it was based on a whole lot of different things.
And taking things back right to the beginning, how did you first get involved in boxing and became a cutman?
What it was, it was when I was working down in London, and I was training at the Peacock Gym in Canning Town. Yeah. And I started doing a bit of training with a Lithuanian trainer, a very, very good trainer. He was a world-class amateur fighter in Oscar Vilkatas. And I took an interest in, I used to go along to the shows with him and really took an interest backstage in the wrapping the hands. But I couldn't go cage side with him or ring side because at that time I didn't have my licence by the British Boxing Board. So you can see I was keen to learn, and he used to do the corners by himself. Now it's not ideal, so he said, "Oh, why don't you come and get your licence and start working with me, start working with a few fighters." So I done my course, and it went from there really. So that's how it all started.
And can you remember your first pro fight?
I can't remember my first pro fight. I can remember the first MMA show I done. Yeah. It was East Coast Fight Factory in Norwich. Yeah. Put on by Stuart Chase. And now, thankfully, I don't think, if I remember rightly, there wasn't any cuts that night. But I was absolutely shaking like a leaf, so I'm glad there wasn't.
That brings me on to my next question. On fight night, what is your typical role on fight night, pre-fight, during the fight on the ring apron, and post-fight with a boxer?
Yeah, I mean, with the professional boxing, I get there nice and early, and I mean, part of being a good cutman is, you know, you've got to be well prepared. You know, whether the fighter cuts or not, you've got to be ready to go. You've got to have everything to hand. So I'll get there nice and early. I'll get all my tape, bandages, I'll get everything ready to go. So as soon as the fighter comes in, as soon as it starts to get relaxed, then I'll wrap the hands, and then obviously when we go ready to fight, I'll go in the corner, and I'll take care of any cuts or swelling during the fight. I mean, post-fight, if there is any cuts, I mean, I don't do any stitching. That's down to the doctors and things like that, you know. But just if they've got any how do you say, any swellings or any abrasions, anything like that, any little nicks, then you know, just give them a bit of aftercare advice and that, and away they go, really.
Is there, obviously, stopping the flow of blood?
Absolutely.
Is one of your main jobs. It's what you're in there for in the corner.
Absolutely.
On a fight night.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Is there any technique that you can use to stop? Obviously, blood will flow. Obviously, it will open up with the pressure of a punch. But in between rounds, it's your job to try and stem that flow of blood.
Yep.
Is there a technique that you can use to try and stop that blood?
I mean, to be quite honest, I mean, every cutman's different. You know, not every person's the same, so everyone goes about their business. Everyone deals with a cut a little bit differently. So it's just what you're used to, really. You can obviously learn bits and pieces from lots of different cutmen, but ultimately, I mean, every different cutman's got their own style. So. And
with a boxing match, when an orthodox fighter goes in with a port-sider, a lefty, that can obviously increase the chances of a head clash.
Yep.
Does that give you a bit more of a concern when one of your boxers is up against a port-sider?
No, to be honest with you, it doesn't matter. You know, if they're going to get cut, they're going to get cut. So yeah, to me it doesn't really make a difference at all. So, you know, I still got to go about my business the same. So.
And how can someone? I'll ask you how you can become involved in hand wrapping. You were out on Saturday night. You were working Saturday night up in Newcastle.
That's right.
Looking after Bradley Saunders. Does that give you, obviously with Bradley, he's had notorious problems with his hands in the past.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you do anything extra for Bradley, knowing that he's had his problems in the past?
Yeah, I'll definitely. I'll wrap his hands a little bit differently, you know, because at the end, ultimately, Bradley, you know, he's one of the best boxers, I think, best up and coming boxers to come out of the UK at the minute. I think Brad's going to go a hell of a long way. Now, obviously, like you say, James, he's been notorious with his hand problems before, sidelined him for quite a long time. So obviously, the last thing we want as a professional boxer is for him to be sidelined again with his hands. So I will put some extra support on his hands, some extra tape. Now, I think the way I wrap hands is unique, personally, to a lot of other different guys you see around on the circuit. Now, touch wood, I've been with Bradley 3 fights now. His hands have been fine, no problems. So touch wood in the future, everything goes the same, and he goes on to win plenty of world titles, and you know.
Absolutely,
and
yes.
No hand problems. So.
What other fighters do you look after?
I've worked on and off with a few guys over the years. We've got obviously Liam, Michael and Ryan Walsh from Norwich, the Norwich lot, you know, Sam Sexton, Nathan Dale, Hughie Fury, Leon McKenzie, Norwich footballer, boxer. I mean, Leon's doing really well at the minute. You know, the list is growing all the time, and hopefully working with Bradley and Seamus Macklin and the MGM lot, hopefully get some more work with them guys. You know, I was meant to be in Texas last week with Matthew Macklin, the Daniel Gill fight. Now, fortunately, that show was postponed. But hopefully when it comes up again, then hopefully I'll get the shout and hopefully start working with a few more of the guys.
And you absolutely, yes. You also work UFC as well, do MMA.
Yes, yep.
How do you balance the two between boxing and MMA?
To be honest, it's different. It's difficult at times. But what I try and do is obviously with the boxing it's a little bit different. I'm employed by the fighter and not the promoter. So when it comes to the likes of Bradley and Liam and the likes of them boys, then they would take priority over the MMA side of things.
Sure. And anyone watching this and wants to know more about hand wrapping, I believe you do some like schools and that, don't you? You do some courses for hand wrapping.
Yeah.
So how can someone become involved and do hand wrapping?
I mean, if you're interested in becoming a cutman, I mean, especially within MMA as well, it's a bit different to the boxing. You haven't got like a governing body, you know, like the British Boxing Board of Control. So, I mean, what I've done is I set up a seminar called Cutman Confidence Seminars, and I also do hand wrapping workshops and things like that. So, I mean, if anyone wants to get involved in anything like that, then they can go to the website, and the dates are on there, www.cutmanuk.com or cutmansupplies.com, and all upcoming seminars and workshops are all on there. So if anyone's interested in becoming a cutman or learning how to wrap hands, then I'd say definitely get yourselves on there.
And for yourself, how long have you been in boxing for now?
Boxing probably about 7 or 8 years now. I mean, I was always involved with it before that, when I was training myself, you know, and doing bits and bobs in the gym. But as a full-time professional cutman now for about 6-7 years. And
if a boxer wants you in his corner as a cutman, would the boxer approach you, or would his trainer approach you?
I mean, either really, you know.
And you're open to offers?
Absolutely, all the time. Yeah, I mean, the more high-profile guys I can work with out there. I mean, it doesn't have to be high-profile guys, but you know, any boxers I can get to work with out there and sort of help them along their way with their careers, whether they've got hand injuries or prone to cuts. You know, I'd love to work with as many guys as possible and sort of help them reach their goals. Definitely.
When you're going back to fight night, when you're making that ring walk with the boxer at the front there, you somewhere not far behind. Are you a little bit nervous going into the fight with the ring walk?
I wouldn't say nervous, no. I mean, I've been doing it long enough now. I mean, the best, you can't go into a fight, you know, feeling nervous and having the jitters and things like that. That's the last thing. If they get cut, they come back to the corner. They don't want to see me shaking like a leaf, you know. So I've learned to control it now, and it's just another day, another fight, you know. So.
You say there about your hand shaking like a leaf. I was watching a fight the other week. I believe it was an overseas fighter. Won't go into the names, but the trainer and the cutman he had in his corner, he was attending to a cut, and his hand was ever so shaky.
Yeah.
And I'm like thinking, oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
So having a steady hand as a cutman is key.
Absolutely, yeah.
And you've got a steady hand.
I've done alright so far. Yeah, I like to think so.
When are you next out? When's your next show with a boxer?
Next show, we're up in Manchester in July.
26th of July,
yeah,
fury-chisora fight?
That's it, fury-chisora bill, yeah, up there. Hopefully with Bradley Saunders,
yeah.
Liam Walsh, and possibly Tom Stalker as well from the MGN.
Excellent. Well, we'll be looking out for that fight, and if anyone wants to look out for you, you're the man with the flat cap on the show.
Yeah, that's it, mate. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, thanks very much for your time, Adam.
No,
talking
thanks,
to Total Boxing TV.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for that.
Cheers.
And any boxers out there, get Adam in your corner. The best cutman in the UK. You can follow him on Twitter at CutmanUK.
That's the one, mate. Yeah.
And thanks for watching Total Boxing TV. Until next time, we'll catch you later.